Who is on an official visit to the United States, has reiterated the need for the United Nations to address the glaring inequality in funding on climate change mitigation measures. Ruto, speaking while he co-chaired the United Nations General Assembly in New York, revisited Africa's declaration during the Africa's Climate Summit held in Nairobi, which pointed out challenges faced by African nations in the fight against climate change crisis. The head of state is adamant for Africa to play a crucial role in addressing climate change challenges. They must be funded adequately and timely. Henry Tende now reports.
Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, President.
In his address of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, United States, Kenya's President William Ruto says the current inequality in funding of climate change mitigation programs ought to be addressed if the war on climate change is to be successful. President Ruto is adamant African nations have for the longest time suffered inequality in funding and a delay in release of such funds, yet as a continent it bears the brutal effects of climate change. This, he says, needs to change.
The reason capital is not available to unlock Africa's colossal potential is that development financing has been inadequate, inaccessible, and costly, denying countries the fiscal space to pursue development and climate action. The reform of the international architecture of global development financing should therefore be at the forefront of the global development and climate action agenda.
President Ruto has also called for enhanced research and heavy investments in research activities to ensure climate change mitigation approaches are backed by scientifically proven data for long-term results.
The time has come for the international community to mobilize adequate resources for common global finance mechanisms accessible to all, serving the global public good and unlocking the necessary private capital for research and development. For Africa in particular, such investment is urgently needed for evidence-based sustainable development and climate-positive growth.
As a show of Kenya's readiness to adopt technology and preservation of the climate, President Ruto pointed out the journey the country has traveled in innovation to make the world a better place to live in.
We have adopted a bottom-up economic transformation agenda which puts job creation at its core with agriculture, affordable housing, universal health coverage, manufacturing, MSMEs, the digital economy, and climate-positive growth as sectoral pillars of our implementation. This has unleashed the entrepreneurial spirit of our youth and positioned Kenya as a global digital technology hub known as Africa's Silicon Savannah. Concert Technopolis, the flagship of this ambition, is ready to host a thriving community of science, technology, and innovation visionaries seeking to disrupt and transform every sector of our economy.
On the sidelines of the assembly, President Ruto signed an agreement with Millennium Challenge Corporation that will see 8.7 billion shillings in funding advanced to Kenya to invest in clean transport system through acquisition of electronic buses.
There is a whole 1 million people who come in and out of Nairobi every day. That poses a very significant challenge on the transport infrastructure. So apart from the matatu transport system, the mass bus transport system is a very important component.
The funding will also boost the school feeding program in Nairobi County. Henry Tende, Look Up TV.
Now that's report.